See.
Oh, look!
Oh, look at that!
Derek, what's the guarantee? Derek?
Mike, time to make history. Players in Circa Million make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries choose one team each week with no point spread. The last one standing wins it all.
We have $21 million on the line. Are you in? Visit circasports.com for details.
This fall, the Sandman, Adam Sandler, You're My Best Friend Tour.
I feel like we're very good friends now.
Casey Center, Saturday, October 4th. Get tickets now at HighVTix.com.
Murph and Andy, proudly presented by Ramsey Subaru, live and on demand across Iowa everywhere from the Channel Seed Studios. This is Murph and Andy. Murph and Andy, connected by Cellular Advantage.
It is Murph and Andy on a Wednesday. Andy, week from today, we will be in Lorville on RVTV.
I am preparing myself. I have been all morning for Lorville.
Can you believe that's next week, like all next week, Monday morning, bright and early, we're off and running.
Yeah, it's something that I feel like I'm always kind of, it hits me as we're driving to the first location. Or maybe not even until we step off the bus at the first location, and it all just starts coming at me that it actually hits me. But we've been through this rodeo so many times, you'd think it was muscle memory, but I don't know. I mean, you just kind of it's like you get shoved off the edge of summer into the busiest time of the year. I'm not sure you can be prepared for that.
And it does feel like it's hitting at its earliest possible point this year. And Monday will be in Earlham, which is a holiday, and they are fired up in Earlham. So looking forward to all that. That's next week, though. Get through this week. Let's set the table. Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines helps us set the table. Coming up, the Farmageddon mystery, the schedule shade, and Fox versus YouTubeTV. This could get really interesting really fast. Guest House Tavern and Oyster has nightly specials, and every Wednesday, that's today, Walleye Wednesday, fresh walleye, salt and vinegar fries for $20. Right now, high or low since the last show.
Presented by Wealth Charter, Retirement Planning and Tax.
Yeah, it's been about a year now that we've known Tim Hawkins and Wealth Charter up there, and he's been a guy we've had a lot of good contact with, and we've come to know him as just a really good dude that participates in the show as a fan, and wanted to just provide a service for the people out there in our audience, and I feel like he's done that.
He's got a sweet car, too.
He does. He's a car guy. Yeah, he's a car guy, and he's a sports fan, and we like him personally. And he's also a whiz with finances, tax, all that kind of stuff. So what better guy to turn to if you have questions about that stuff in your life? I'm going low today, just kind of still the remnants of the return to school. So Monday morning, Eddie is up and, he's got his back to school clothes on, which, Andrew, I'm sure you can attest to this. Kids nowadays, like when you're putting on your back to school best, it just means your best sweatpants.
Yes.
And your best, Eddie insists on T-shirts with no logos on them.
Oh, is that the cool thing now?
I don't know if it's the cool thing. It's what he likes. It's not what I like. I always like stuff on the T-shirts.
Yeah.
I think that is kind of in fashion. And I have a bunch of shirts now that have nothing on it. But it always feels like a dressed up undershirt when you do that. Or it's either a workout shirt or it's an undershirt. Otherwise, if it's a T-shirt, you got something on it. But somehow when they call it a graphic T-shirt, that makes it sound really uncool, really, really white tee. Oh, you got a graphic T-shirt, like those Affliction T-shirts or something, and it's got some stupid graphic on it. Oh, man, they're cool graphics. It's, it's a vintage beer sign or sports teams or something like that, but they lump it all together and just say graphic. Anyway, Eddie doesn't like any of that stuff, which is too bad because I've given him a bunch of those good shirts in the past, and he just tosses them in the corner. So blank shirt, sweatpants like top, And he immediately put a stain on the sweatshirt that he's wearing there, like was eating breakfast and dropped something on there. I'm like, oh man, you gotta go change that.
No.
He's like, no, Dad, look, I'll just unzip it and I'll kind of roll it out. You can't see the stain. He didn't care about that. That's elementary school for me. But I was like, yeah, you want me to walk you to school? It's a beautiful day. It's not far to the school here.
Oh,
I was
man.
going to walk him like I have, or at least
You
walk
have
him
so many
in.
times.
He said no. He said, no, Dad, I'm good.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to ride my bike.
Growing up.
Yeah, and I do like it when he rides his bike. I think that that's a little extra piece of independence and, a little more exercise. And, having your own wheels at that age is a big deal. So he got on his bike and pedaled away.
I do remember thinking when I come home for dinner break, when the kids would just run up, scream, jump up and down, jump into my arms, each night dinner break. I do remember many times thinking, this is going to end, so enjoy every second of it while you can. And then, of course, it does eventually end, and you understand it. But yeah, that's tough when you get a little bit of the don't need mom and dad for as much as I used to. I mean, you're proud, and at the same time, it's like, oh, yeah, we're moving to another stage.
I'll point out an important distinction here. Eddie is 11. He's in 6th grade. He is not to the point that his older sister, Elin, is in. She's 14 and is in 9th grade now. And she really is to the point where she would like, she will tell me, if I'm going somewhere with her, it's like, walk on the other side of the street and please don't wave.
My sister was like that too. She made my mom drop her off down the street, nowhere near the school.
She inevitably felt bad about that later on, but I mean, we all get it. We've been at that point of our lives where we're like, okay, we don't want to look like babies anymore. We don't want to look like it's our parents shepherding us all around. But Eddie is still to that point, and I'll see him when I come home at night, or if I run home quickly for dinner or something. Rare occasions, he'll still run up and give me a hug. His sister, yeah, that stuff. We're on a temporary hiatus there. That goes away. I can remember that goes away. But for now, freshman year, maybe sophomore year, I think maybe by junior and senior year, that open affection for parents may be back. But right now, it's not cool.
It can kind of surprise you too, though, even at like the college level. Like I can distinctly remember the first time we went to visit Colin at his fraternity house, and he was introducing us to all his buddies. And at the end, Colin came up and he gave me a big hug and, loudly said, "I love you, Dad." And I said, "I love you, Colin." And he later told me that a couple of his friends say, you say that to your dad in front of people? And but they weren't throwing shade at him. They kind of liked it, but they didn't have that relationship. And it was interesting to me, and it made me appreciate it even more that they're comfortable saying that, because when don't you want to hear that as a dad, or to make sure your kids know it?
Yeah, agreed. You've always had a more demonstrative relationship with your kids than I did with my parents, or my parents did with all of their kids. Which doesn't mean, one love is better than another. It's just how people express themselves. But when I did hear that from my parents, it meant a lot. But
sure,
I think everybody kind of has their own way of doing well, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can tell good parents just by looking at the kids and stuff in the house, but everybody kind of they're going to do it. They're going to do it the way that they're comfortable doing. And sometimes it's like exactly like their parents did it, and sometimes it's the opposite of the way their parents did it, because they wish that they got something more from their parents or something different, and so they turn the ship and they do it themselves. But
that was my parents, Andy. They both came from mom and dads who I'm sure, love them in all the ways that parents love kids, but neither set of parents said, I love you to their kids. So they were like, we're going to make sure our kids know. And I'm sure that's how I passed it on. You know, it, like you said, it can become just a pivot point where we're going to do it differently. And then you pass it on. I think our kids will pass it on that way. If I'm alive to see those grandkids, we'll have, I'm sure, many at some point.
We're going to try to keep you going here.
All right, I'm going low here. I overslept today. I am in the world you and AD cannot relate to. I don't have to set an alarm most days, and I usually wake up between 8:30 and 9:30. And today, I don't know what happened, but I woke up at 11:50 in a panic. I
11:50.
Yes.
How late did you stay up watching the Cowboys documentary on Netflix?
Do you have a camera in my family room here? That's exactly what I was doing last night.
I've been watching that too. I can't stop.
Yeah, I forgot that Steve Berline took over for Troy Aikman at one point. But
I'm not to that point yet. Yeah, not to that point.
So I did stay up watching that, and then I read for 45 minutes or so, but kind of went to bed at the normal time and just slept. And I have a crazy busy day today. I'm on the 4 p.m. doing an interview. I have the Coach's Corner, which still hasn't been produced. We got to do that. That happens tonight. John and David are off today. And then at some point I got to get ready for the Football Friday primetime game, which is Southeast Polk against Centennial. And last night I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go read some articles in newspapers about these two just to start to prepare, because we were still awaiting rosters at that point. And because almost every town has cut its newspaper, I couldn't find any stories on Southeast Polk. Normally a 4-time defending champ, you'd think there's some newspaper stories out there, but
like
there
the Register, maybe
left.
The Register's probably got stories on it. That's the
I didn't
newspaper.
find one. I mean, just
Really?
doing the search, I didn't find one, and I subscribed to the Register. I didn't see one. Maybe they have.
I mean,
but I'll
Altoona
catch
doesn't
up.
have a newspaper that covers them, do they? Does Altoona have a newspaper?
Probably not.
Ankeny have a newspaper? They got like a
2025.
newsletter.
Yeah,
maybe.
Ankeny does have the Ankeny Fanatic. I'll bet something comes out here in the next
Ankeny
couple of days.
Fanatic is the name of the newspaper there?
Yeah.
The Fanatic?
I believe that's right.
The,
Yeah,
not
Ankeny
the Telegraph, not the Messenger, not the Dispatch.
I think the emphasis is sports. Fanatic. I wouldn't go there for city council meetings. Ankeny
okay.
Fanatic.
Well, so it's like a sports
I
site.
believe
Okay, I get it.
you'll find everything you're looking for there. Let's get the buzz here on an Overslept Wednesday.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Proudly serving the Des Moines metro community for nearly 120 years. So you call on Logier, you don't have to worry
I
about
hope
them
they're
going away.
I hope they're sleeping in today a little bit. Yeah, we don't need them as much right now. The temperature is so nice, but very soon they're going to start those fall checkups. Great place to call and get your whole heating system checked out, because that time will be here very soon.
Iowa State just won a big game, a top 20 matchup, a conference game in Ireland, and I'm sure everybody from administrators to coaches to fans feels like that should be the thing that people are talking about, and to some extent it is, but many, even Cyclone fans, are trying to figure out who didn't want ESPN using the term Farmageddon. This long-standing, more than 100-year rivalry has long been called Farmageddon for all the reasons we understand. Iowa agriculture, Kansas agriculture. David Warrington did agriculture stories in Ireland with those two states and Ireland. So Farmageddon it's a clever name. It's used all the time by fans. But Reese Davis on ESPN's College Game Day podcast said ESPN was told they would prefer Farmageddon not be used.
Farmageddon, if we can call it that, gave us a great slice of it, and was very entertaining in a sloppy, delicious way on Saturday.
We got a directive that the powers that be, I guess, for the institutions and perhaps from the conference, they weren't big fans of that moniker of Farmageddon. And I don't really understand why, because when something that's not a rivalry historically that's at the forefront of the college football consciousness, and you have a really cool name like that, it's not meant in a derisive way. it's a fun way, because you just mentioned that's in their DNA. It's part of their charter. It's what and they've done wonderful and magnificent things in that field, and it becomes a fun way to identify the game. And, hopefully people won't send emails like that anymore and take away things that make it memorable.
Who ordered the code red? I want to know who said don't call this Farmageddon, because right now, Andy, we are in full denial. Kansas State released a statement saying, essentially, while they didn't promote the game as Farmageddon, they absolutely did not tell anyone at ESPN not to call it Farmageddon. The Big 12 has said it wasn't the Big 12 office that said Farmageddon. Iowa State, at least last I knew, had not released a statement, but someone in the Iowa State administration told Iowa Everywhere's Chris Williams that it was not Iowa State, that Iowa State did not say, don't call it Farmageddon. And I think it's notable, last night Iowa State football put out a video recapping the game and the experience in Ireland with Farmageddon in the headline on the video, almost as if to say, we call it Farmageddon. Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
I think it's somebody in marketing, somebody that is trying to promote the multi-facets of one or both of the universities, and they're concerned that they're getting pigeonholed into the public perception, getting bogged down in just the agricultural schools, which of course both of these are international universities that teach many different disciplines and many different majors, have many different schools. It's somebody that's like, are we a farming school? Do we have an agricultural college? Yes, of course we do. No, but we do many other things. That is my suspicion. I don't have any real knowledge of that, but we've seen other stuff like this in the past. And you have somebody who is, their job is to promote the university or promote the company as something that is a jack of all trades, like a catch-all, a do everything. And, they've already got the one part. Okay. They've got that. They don't need to worry about that. Everybody knows this part about them. Everybody knows they do this well. So they're trying to spread out the coverage and the promotion. And so they ask you to call it something else or to not use that term because it's working against their directive, or it's working against, their, what's important to them. Mm-hmm. And this stuff doesn't ever work, it seems like to me, when it's someone telling you. It goes both ways, whether you're telling them not to call you something or you're telling them to call you something. Anytime there's like a directive, there's instructions that run against the grain, it pisses people off, right? It annoys people. Don't tell me how to talk. Don't tell me what I've been calling something is somehow not okay, or, it's not enough, or that it means something that I haven't felt like it's ever meant. So people really get their hackles up about that kind of stuff. And we understand it. I mean, here's a good example. So the city of Urbandale desperately wants Ryder Corner, the corner of I-3580, where it's, going east-west, and then there in Urbandale over at Ryder Corner, over by Grimes, it suddenly turns north-south, or, there's that elbow to it. The city of Urbandale wants to market it as the urban loop.
Okay.
And so they've told all the media ad nauseum to stop calling it Ryder Corner. But the thing is that it is a corner and it's not a loop. There's no loop. When you go around that corner, you don't do a loop. It's not a roller coaster.
Right.
So it doesn't really make any sense, but they really like that term. They like that name. They've put a bunch of money into the marketing, and they're trying to get everybody to stop calling it what we've always been calling it, and which, frankly makes sense. I don't know about the rider part. That's not important. But the corner, everybody knows what the corner is. So if you're talking about that part of town, that's what everybody's called it. It's not offensive. It's not outdated or anything. I mean, it's still a corner. So, but they get really annoyed about that, and they send out letters to people, and they've sent letters to me saying, stop calling it the rider corner, rider corner. They've sent it to the DOT and all that, so it's the urban loop. So I suspect it's something along these lines, that it's somebody that's with marketing and they would like to broaden the appeal of these universities, or maybe just one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to be pigeonholed into just farming.
Yeah, I don't know what's behind this. I've seen speculation in our comments over here, and a lot of them. One of them is that this is ESPN stirring the pot. I don't buy that, because I hear Reese Davis's explanation, and he seems absolutely befuddled that they couldn't call it Farmageddon, and thinks that they should lean into that, as they should lean into that. So I don't think it's ESPN stirring the pot. I've seen several suggestions that somebody trademarked this, or some T-shirt trademarked this. Well, if that was the case, then Kansas State puts that in their statement. They just say in the statement, we can't use the term Farmageddon anymore. Or the Big 12 immediately says that. Somebody did tell ESPN not to use the term Farmageddon. My suspicion, and again, this I just conjecture, is speculation, is just that kind of what you said, that there's so much coverage of the East Coast and West Coast schools, and with the SEC and the Big Ten, more than ever, they feel a little bit overlooked here in flyover country, and they feel like this is too on the nose for agriculture schools and farming schools, when they absolutely should fully embrace that. It's what makes the Big 12 great. These smaller towns that have these passionate fan bases. It's part of what makes Farmageddon so great. The name is great. This should be a protected rivalry. They absolutely should play this game every year. The Big 12 should fix that right away. And Brett Yormark has the power to fix that right away. And he should. They should play this game every year. We just saw why. And I think it's really interesting that someone at one of these schools just doesn't understand what we all love so much about college football. This is probably some big donor that leans on an AD or a commissioner or somebody that makes it feel like, hey, we don't want to be the farming school. We don't want to be the ag school. Opposite of what Kansas State and Iowa State should be doing. And some of it is almost comical. You've got this great, proud agriculture school in Iowa State, and someone is saying lean away from Farmageddon. And then over at Iowa, you have a school that's not an agriculture school, that's dentists and lawyers and doctors and the medical profession, and they've somehow leaned into America Needs Farmers in a way that should belong to Iowa State, but doesn't. So none of it really makes sense, but the agriculture pride coming out of Iowa State should be absolutely put up there on a big neon banner, and if you can call it Farmageddon, you should. And I hope we do get the answer of who ordered the code red, because somebody did.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I want to know too. I think the reason that it's gotten this moniker is simply because farm fits into Armageddon.
Yeah,
so
it's a great name.
Seamlessly. It's a really good name. It fits. It's easy to say. It's fun to say. I feel like I don't know that it's immediately identifiable on a national stage. Like the Iron Bowl or maybe even the Egg Bowl, but I think it's getting there, right? I mean, it's got legs, and it's something that I've never heard of anybody around here objecting to it. And quite frankly, I know a lot of people whose kids go to Iowa State. I don't think any of them are in the School of Agriculture. But there's absolutely, so, I mean, Iowa State does many things well.
Far more than just agriculture.
No doubt. But at the same time, you go up there during a game and you look around at the souk-up stuff and many other things about it, you know that agriculture is an enormous part of that school.
And our state and the state of Kansas.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But I mean, you know that that's important to the school, and that's not the school that's stiff-arming that away.
Quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas in Ames and Urbandale.
Should Iowa State, Kansas State, and the Big 12 embrace the term Farmageddon for the Iowa State-Kansas State football rivalry? Absolutely or no way?
It's an absolutely for me. I think you, as it does seem to be for most people, you lean into this. We saw some good puns of Farmageddon this week, putting the Irish O in there. It's a great name. This is the best of college football. These rivalries, like you mentioned, the Iron Bowl, the Egg Bowl, like Egg Bowl doesn't even seem like a catchy name. It seems kind of foolish, but the background on these things are what make college football great. And someone in a suit or with a pile of money and influence is overthinking this and worried about the wrong things.
Well,
and
and remember when,
page.
Georgia and Florida had the world's largest cocktail party, and they pushed back against that and told everybody to stop calling it that. Have they stopped, though?
The fans haven't stopped.
No, I mean, you run into this stuff from time to time. You just kind of, I think you just blow it off and say, man, don't tell me how to talk. I know how to talk. I'm trying to use language that people understand quickly.
Matt Campbell is still catching shade, some laughs, and some heckles for this comment after beating K-State in Ireland.
Hopefully, if I make anybody mad, I really don't care. So I think we're set up for failure because I think this is the hardest schedule in the country. And the reality of it is, we go home and we play an incredible South Dakota team that's coming in. And they had a great year. You're talking about a team that's in the Final Four, right? And then obviously you play another huge rival game that's going to have emotion. And then somehow we're on the road at an Arkansas State team that we know is super talented. That's the first quarter of our football season. And it's going to take everything we got. And I think our kids know that. We've talked about that, and that's not an excuse. Nobody really cares, and we don't care. We just know that's the schedule at hand, and it's going to take everything that we've got the ability to do to be our best in the moment. So I think it's a great challenge. Winning the game is great, but the reality of it is how we grow from this game. Can we handle the trip back home? Man, can we be ready for next Saturday? And, that unbelievable fan base, it was awesome to have them here tonight, but we're going to need them times 10 every step of the way from here, and so hopefully this will keep them coming.
All right, we talked about this Monday, but to get into a little more, just because of the amount of attention that comment has got, and it's the specific part of we play the toughest schedule in the nation. I don't think for a minute Matt Campbell actually believes that, and I don't think he really cares that people are, snickering or laughing. As we said, he is sending this message to his team to try to avoid a letdown here and then one in a couple of weeks against Arkansas State. Some people think he's skipping over Iowa as shade. I think he's skipping over Iowa because he's not worried about the emotion for the Iowa game. He knows that's going to be there. He's worried about South Dakota and Arkansas State. And, Andy, I think there's a little point here that he's making to whoever set up the schedule that he thinks it's a little bit crazy to have to go all the way to Ireland, come back and play a tough FCS team, then play Iowa the next week, and then the one that a lot of people scratch their heads at, why is Iowa State from the Big 12 going to Arkansas State in 2025? So he specifically is talking about those first 4 games being a lot to handle, and I do think he believes that, but I don't think he believes it's the toughest schedule in the nation because it's not. But there are some challenges in there just in the way that it's set up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the people that are saying I think what he's really emphasizing is the first game in Ireland. I mean, that's nobody else has to do that. It's a long way. It was a huge opponent that they had to immediately be ready for in a giant game. That was a lot. That's a lot to ask of a college football team in this day and age where teams don't do that for the most part.
And historically, those teams in the Air Lingus Football Classic have struggled that season. It might be coincidence. It's not a large sample size.
Yeah, but I think the other thing is I think he's mainly talking about the South Dakota game. Yeah, and it's weird that they have to go to Arkansas State. That's weird too. But the South Dakota game, I think he is trying to send out fire a warning shot at his team that they cannot let up, right? They cannot take this week off and look ahead to Iowa. They cannot take this week and say, oh, okay, we're back home and we got a Division I AA patsy. They can't say that because this is they've got a big target on their back now. They've off to this huge start. The fan expectations are through the roof, and they've got a team that has been very successful.
Right. This isn't Albany.
FCS. Right.
Albany's bad. South Dakota's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Campbell really he is very adept at coach speak, and it's often kind of hard to tell what he's talking about specifically, but it's probably rooted in revving up his team.
And he's in a football bubble. Like he doesn't care about fan backlash to this or rival backlash or media members that might make fun of the comment. He does not care. He's trying to reach his team.
And we're probably reading too much into it. I mean, he said it was such bravado, came back in.
He was feeling it.
He was feeling it, right.
He was feeling it. 4.1 million fans for the game. That's a big audience for Iowa State football. That, according to Nielsen, that is down 20% from last year's FSU Georgia Tech game. But it is up over 2 years ago when Navy played Notre Dame, which kind of surprises me because Notre Dame has a national following, and so does Navy. But 4.1 million, that's good. It's not as much as the Big 12 championship game last year against Arizona State. Interact on YouTube. The email is Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. On X, it's Murph_Andy, and it's all powered by Cellular Advantage, U.S. Cellular, now owned by T-Mobile, and number one ranked national network with no limitations on data usage as you travel outside U.S. cellular footprint. But T-Mobile customers don't have access to U.S. Cellular's top-ranked Iowa network. So if you get the Cellular Advantage right now, more than anything, that means best of both worlds. More hot topics. Fox YouTube TV dispute. The deadline is today. So what's at stake? What do you need to know? What's going on here? Well, these carriage disputes eventually hit everybody. Mm-hmm. They've hit us before. They hit every network. They hit every carrier. And at one time, YouTube TV, remember those innocent days when YouTube TV came along and we thought, wow, this is reasonably priced and just what I'm looking for, and everything about this seems fantastic. Well, the price has continued to go up and up and up, and now it doesn't seem that great, but we have YouTube TV here at home. A lot of people do. Mm-hmm. If this dispute is not settled, for instance, Saturday, you'll lose Texas, Ohio State on YouTube TV. You'll lose Iowa State, South Dakota on YouTube TV. You'll lose Iowa, Albany on YouTube TV. These things eventually get settled usually by the NFL, the start of the NCAA tournament, or some big sporting event because there's no more powerful entity or no more pressure that can be put on. I think the Texas, Ohio State national fan bases are probably going to apply enough pressure to get this settled before 11 a.m. Saturday. But if not, then we probably start waiting for NFL pressure because a lot of games on Fox, of course, which begins next week. And this is a ways off. I mean, it's 10 days off. But the Iowa State game would be impacted by this.
Yeah, and I think that the sides look and they strategically plan this kind of stuff. I know their contract is up, but they decide how deep they're going to dig their heels in based on, what kind of a leverage piece, what kind of leverage programming they've got upcoming. And Texas, Ohio State is enough. I mean, this is going to be a little, yeah. I mean, that's Fox, it's FS1, and that's the Big Ten Network, and that's
right.
There's some really big markets and really big teams. It's the start of football season, the whole football season, and people are really hungry for football, college or NFL. So they know that this would be what Fox knowing at this point that people are going to get really upset. The question is, I mean, who do you call when you're mad at YouTube? Right? I mean,
I don't know.
We've been through this a million times with, Nexstar, our owners, and, Dish and DirecTV and Mediacom. So people are calling us pissed off, and we're having to run a crawl on the bottom of on the bottom of the screen saying, hey, this is not a local decision. This is, this is Nexstar National. This is, of course, we don't run it that way. We put all of the blame on the other party every time.
And that party puts the blame on us
right.
Or they carry. Yeah, it's
but they do call
pointing.
us. But or they call Mediacom. But who are they going to call now? You call YouTube? I don't even. Yeah, DirecTV. At least I could figure out a phone number to call them. Where's YouTube?
Yeah,
who do you call there?
I wouldn't know. And I know Fox has already put together like a PR ad that features several Big Ten football coaches.
Oh yeah,
asking them to apply pressure to YouTube TV.
Yeah, it's always completely the other guy's fault. We're just trying to bring you the best programming at the best price.
We're there for you.
We're thinking about you
We're on
first.
your side.
Yeah, right. We're not thinking about ourselves. Fox wants more money from YouTube, and YouTube doesn't want to give it. Okay, you can take that sentence and substitute in any of the entities in
every
any
dispute
of the
that's ever happened. Yeah. That's about it. Let's take a look here at Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola. Here's a photo. It has the comment that he made in a recent press conference. I can't be mad at God for making me look like him, meaning Patrick Mahomes. And I get a kick out of the Dylan Raiola thing just because I don't think he could try harder to look like and emulate Patrick Mahomes, which that's not a bad thing if you're a quarterback. And Patrick Mahomes seems like a good dude, but he says he's not doing that. They just happen to look like each other. God made him look like Patrick Mahomes, which to some extent that's true, but it does look like he is trying to, what do the kids call it, AD, when you try to look like somebody?
I'll have to ask my kids.
Imitate.
What is it? Cosplay?
Cosplay.
Cosplay. Yeah.
Okay.
If you remove the photos here, you just listen to this with your eyes closed. It sounds like Raiola is telling everybody that he looks like God.
He didn't mean that.
He might have. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean. He does look a little like him.
You look a lot less like him if you didn't dress exactly like him, use his mannerisms, have his
He does
haircut.
the jumping up and down, the thing before the game. These glasses look like they are
imitate somebody,
haircut,
the best,
facial
right?
hair.
He doesn't play like him.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet, no. Hopes are high, but not yet. Caitlin Clark and Nike have introduced her new logo. It's interlocking C's. And many people
like
have
basketball.
Many people have an opinion about the logo.
Of course.
I think the most important thing is this shows that Nike is finally going to start rolling out the Caitlin Clark brand. The Fever all wore Caitlin Clark logos to the game last night. Coach, players, they all wore it. They all embraced it. But Nike will introduce her signature shoe next year, 2026. And a whole line of stuff. So it's about time, and it's finally happening.
Yeah, and the timing isn't great, is it? I mean, it seems like they kind of missed the really great opportunity. This should have been last year. This was coming out, but I mean, she'll be back, and we have confidence that she'll be back to her original form, and then. Her play will coincide with this kind of a release, but it's been such a bummer of a season without her. And now without Sophie Cunningham on with Indiana at least.
Right.
It just really seems like the rocket ship came tumbling back to earth. At least from my perspective, I have had so little interest in the WNBA, and I honestly this was going to be my summer sports activity, was watching this. I mean, I was going to watch every game that I could, and I think
you
a
can
lot
really
of people
feel
felt
it
that
right
way.
now too.
Oh,
this
yeah.
past week, because you have the combination of still no Caitlin Clark, and football has started. There's a chance she still returns here for the playoffs, but it will be much less impactful than it would have been, say, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, it really seemed like they had the barrel completely primed and loaded. I mean, they had Caitlin Clark and an Indiana Fever team that had, added players and was better. Sophie Cunningham did what she did and became one of the new stars of the WNBA, one of the biggest stars, a big, huge draw on a talker, the WNBA, and an advertising ace. Like it was all going according to plan, or even better than plan, and then the injury, and then Sophie Cunningham's out, and then the Fever haven't been all that great, and it just seems like it's that's taken a lot of the air out of the league.
Let's take a moment to reflect on how much Major League Baseball has changed.
I love doing this stuff. I see something on, I think I saw this on Facebook. I got a little.
It's got to be true then.
A little nugget. Well, no, it's true. It's statistics. Somebody points out an interesting statistic, and it gets me thinking. And I'm like, oh, I wonder what these stats looked like back when I was growing up, and everybody was in love with baseball. Right now, this is my research here.
Right.
There are 5 players in Major League Baseball hitting above 300.
Just 5.
5. Aaron Judge, who is a power hitter, and I know he's a very good all-around hitter, but I think of him as a power hitter, not a for-average hitter. He's leading the league in batting average with a 323 average.
That's really impressive.
That he's leading the league.
Yeah. A guy that big with that much power.
It's impressive that he is hitting 323 with 40 some odd home runs.
It's not impressive that there are only 5 guys hitting over 300. That means still a lot of inactivity.
It's really bad for the league that 323 leads the league. There are 5 guys hitting above 300.
So many strikeouts.
5. Many of the best teams that we grew up with, and of not too distant past, had 5 guys in their lineup who were hitting 300. Tony Gwynn, who shouldn't really be used as a measuring stick because he was so incredible.
He's great.
So exceptional.
Hardly ever struck out.
He batted 289 his rookie year. And then for the next 19 seasons, to close out his Hall of Fame career, he never hit below 300.
So good.
40 years ago, this would have been in the heyday of Tony Gwynn. 1985, Dale Murphy, you remember him well?
Yeah,
sure.
I do.
Great player, all-star slugger who won a Gold Glove, hit for power and average. He finished just 7th in the MVP voting, largely due to his propensity for strikeouts. Right?
He's in the
Swung
wrong
too
era.
hard, didn't put enough balls in play, but he still
kept him
hit
out of the Hall of
300.
Fame.
Yeah, still hit 300. He led the league in 1985. He led the National League in strikeouts with 141. This year, there are 19 players who have struck out more than 141 times, and there are still 30 games left in the season.
Jeez.
I mean, that is shocking.
It's a lot of strikeouts.
That's
it is
so
still
much inaction.
A lot of standing around.
I don't care how anybody wants to spin the, newfound importance of different stats and maybe the lesser importance or the lesser consideration given to batting average now. That tells you without a doubt that baseball has a problem entertaining its fans.
It does, because it's home run or strikeout too much of the time. I mean, how many times do we hear about a 9-6 game and there were 9 home runs in the game or something? I mean, it is home run or strikeout. The pitch clock has helped with the pace. It does move along faster. It has improved, but you still need the ball in play more. More action.
And, people will say, well, now everybody's throwing 100 miles an hour. Well, but that didn't happen overnight. And, 70 years ago, nobody was throwing 90 miles an hour, right? You adjust. Everybody, the hitters adjust to that. And I don't know that it's not the hitters haven't adjusted to that. They just don't try to make contact the same way that they used to. And then finally, 20 wins in a season. Remember, that was a benchmark for Major League pitchers. You had a great season as a pitcher. You had 20 wins.
It was rare to win the Cy Young without 20 wins.
I think the Orioles, when they won the World Series in the 70s, they had 3 20-game winners.
I believe it was 4.
I'm sorry, you're right. They did have 4. Yes, they had 4. Even during the years when everybody's using a 5-man rotation. So don't come back at me saying, well, they only had a 4-man rotation. No, they had a 5-man rotation. 20 wins was the benchmark. This year, there is really only one pitcher in all of baseball that has a mathematical shot at winning 20 games. That's Milwaukee's Freddie Peralta. He's got 15 wins. He ain't going to get there. It has been 2 years since any Major League pitcher won 20 games. I think there was only one in 2023. That was Spencer Strider of the Braves. But really, it's been just kind of a lost stat, right? I mean, it's been a while since we've had a lot of these guys. I mean, it's been 10 full years since the Cubs have had a 20-game winner. That was Jake Arrieta 10 years ago, 2015. It's been 11 years since the Cardinals had a 20-game winner, Adam Wainwright, in 2014.
Jeez.
It's been 15 years since the Yankees had a 20-game winner. It's not quite as common in the AL,
right?
Having the DL the whole time. But it's been 15 years since the Yankees had CC Sabathia win 20. The Twins have not had one since 2004. The White Sox, 2003. Andrews Giants had 2 20-game winners in 1993, and they have not had one since.
And they've had really good pitching.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. It's different. The Royals, in a pitcher's ballpark, whole time, have not had a 20-game winner since I was in high school. That was Brett Saberhagen in 1989. The Brewers, best chance they have one this year. They haven't had one since Teddy Higuera in 1986. The Rockies have never had a 20-game winner. That stat is just like as old, crusty, and outdated as it could be. I don't know why it still lives in my head. It shouldn't. There's no place for it anymore. 20 games as any sort of benchmark for a great season. You win 20 games now, it's like, what's that team doing? You're pitching the guy too much.
Which just, of course, means we're not going to have another 300-game winner unless things dramatically change.
That stat has gone the way of the dodo. No, that was my little dive into the baseball almanac.
Cheers. Confluence is the official beer of Murph and Andy. Confluence is where Old Tavern keeps selling out. And pick up some if you haven't tried it yet. In the meantime, let's get some more.
But wait, there's more. From Either Or Eatery and Patio.
The unofficial patio week continues at Either Or because the patio weather week continues in central Iowa. Absolutely beautiful. Love it. Take your, what a great Wednesday. What a great hump day dinner for you and your family.
Hump day.
You and your other. Go out to either or. Check it out. Inside, outside. It's one of Des Moines' best restaurants. Today is World Banana Day.
I like a banana.
Man, bananas it's like if we have bananas in the kitchen at our house, we're in pretty good shape, right? I like to have a banana every morning in a smoothie. The kids each want a banana. I know Kahala likes bananas. Like bananas, you really gotta pay attention to the bananas. They get ripe, and then they start going downhill, and then nobody wants
that
them.
brown banana look pretty quickly.
Yeah, they get all spotty and stuff, and you put them in the freezer. It's time for banana bread. The average person eats about 100 bananas a day. Or I'm sorry, a year.
A day, boy.
The average
that's
900-pound monkey eats 100 bananas a day. They outsell oranges and apples combined. Wow. Ecuador, Colombia, and Guatemala produce most of the bananas consumed by Americans. Southwest Airlines will soon require travelers who don't fit within the armrests of their seat to pay for an extra seat in advance.
I think you have to do this.
Part of a string of recent changes that Southwest is making, no more cattle call.
I just lined up in the cattle call Sunday morning.
Yeah, this is, I've not seen any blowback here. I'm sure there will be some. New rule goes into effect January 27th. So here's how it works. That's the same day that Southwest starts assigning seats. It says it will still refund a second ticket under the new policy, because that's what people used to be able to do. They would buy one seat, or they would buy two seats, and then if they couldn't fit into one seat, and then they would be refunded for the price of that second seat. So it's some hoops to jump through, but they will still do that under the new policy for extra seating, only if, though, the flight isn't fully booked at the time of departure. And when's the last time you've seen a flight that was not full?
They're usually full.
And if both of the passengers' tickets were purchased in the same booking class. Seems like that would probably happen. Also, the passenger needs to request the refund within 90 days of the flight. So, going to make this much more difficult. This is one of those things that
it's uncomfortable. I'm not without empathy here, but if you are
Sympathy,
the person in your own seat and you have somebody completely spilling onto you, it's uncomfortable. It's physically uncomfortable, and it's really not fair.
Americans getting bigger all the time.
Yeah, and I think the seats might be getting smaller.
The seats are, ironically, the seats getting smaller, so it just becomes, it just doesn't seem like it is sustainable.
Ugh, yeah.
And they're so full, and it's going to, I think some people are cheering this, and they're saying, okay, well, and maybe this is the impetus that people need to take better care of their bodies, lose weight. It's not that easy. I think we can all understand, but this has got a lot of legs under it. We've got more now on a story that we broke on on Monday. The serial butt smeller. We've actually got video of him in action.
What?
Remember, he was busted at Walgreens. This is older video of him, Andrew. If we could play some of this, I believe this is at a Barnes and Noble, where he is.
I don't know that he has to play this video. I don't know that I'm ready to see this. This is him in action.
Well, you just see him kind of lurking around.
Okay.
I felt like anywhere I moved, he kept following me. So I recorded just in case he was trying to say anything or do anything to me. But I definitely didn't expect him to do this. Like, what the actual...
Pretending to be, like, crouching down by a bookshelf and then coming behind me and smelling me. And he does the same thing to another girl in the video as well.
I was so freaked out when I turned around and saw him literally under me, so freaking close to me.
At least his name is out there, his face is out there, so people can be aware.
Wow.
I'm surprised she didn't dump that drink right on his head.
It's not real subtle. And Barnes & Noble. I mean, that is not where I would expect to see the serial butt sniffer.
Yeah, that seems like a more likely place for that to happen than Walgreens, because there's like no real, like when you're at a bookstore or a library, people kind of they'll squat down, right, and read a book for a second, but like at Walgreens, nobody's getting down on that floor, right? It just
not by choice.
Yeah, jeez, but that's his method. You know what to look out for now. On a flight from California to London's Heathrow Airport, British Airways flight attendant Hayden Pentecost, interesting last name, was discovered naked, sweaty, and incoherent on an airplane in an airplane bathroom with his underwear in the sink. All while on duty, he was working the flight. He had failed to complete the pre-flight safety checks and locked himself in a stall, claiming he needed to change clothes due to a cramp in his foot. A colleague found him, dressed him, moved him to a seat. Doctor who examined him later found out the cause for his strange behavior. Murph, you want to venture a guess here?
It's drugs.
Meth. Yeah. Meth.
Oh, meth.
Yeah,
Specifically meth.
Meth will do that to you. All right, and now a public service announcement from the Moore team. Now, the pole vault looks fun, but it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
You got to get your body over the bar and over the pole itself.
There you go. There you go.
Oh.
Pole to pole. Oh. Yeah.
Oh. I broke my wrist pole vaulting.
Almost made himself into a human popsicle.
Oh. Yeah, I came back the other way.
You can have some fun on pole vault fails on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
When things go wrong in the pole vault, they can go really, really wrong. It's hard. Don't just dive into it. That's your more, everybody.
Grimaldi's fan photos can be sent to Murph_Andy at IowaEverywhere.com. Rhonda Knudsen, hope I'm saying that right, Rhonda, and her daughter Tara at Energizer Park in St. Louis, checking out a soccer match. Nice photo.
City SC.
Yeah, how's that? Is soccer working there, St. Louis?
Yeah, it's really popular. It's a really cool
well.
stadium. Everybody loves it.
Grimaldi's coal-fired brick oven pizza, West Des Moines District at Prairie Trail in Ankeny. We'll give away a $50 gift card this Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Mr. Movie.
It's time to go to the movies with Mr. Movie, Mike Woody. Presented by P&P Small Engines.
Hey, Mr. Movie.
Look, I made it.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
See you, hear you.
Wow.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Well, I don't know about that, but
what do you hear from Jeff? Has he recovered from the fair? Jeff with P&P Small Engines?
Jeff's being pretty quiet. I'm guessing he's stocking things back up and taking naps. But you know what? When I think of P&P, obviously it's lawn mowing or snow blowing, but they've got all that crazy stuff that you can do with your yard, the edgers and the blowers, especially in the fall.
One of our guys stopped in there, John Liebel, one of our Iowa Everywhere guys, and dropped some coin on what must be a really nice mower.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm good. That helps us all. Let's get out of the box here with movies and Mr. Movie. We've been moving around, well, not just the United States, but the world for movie settings. Miami is where we're going this week, and I am picking the classic, often considered one of the 10 greatest movies ever made, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Now, this is quintessential Miami to me because you have a Dan Marino appearance, you have the isotoner gloves, and you have, what was it, Snowflake? Is Snowflake the name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Snowflake has been kidnapped, right? The dolphin has been kidnapped from the games back when was still in the Orange Bowl. I'm picking this mostly for sentimental reasons because it was so far over the top, but I'm telling you, our now fully grown kids, they could watch Ace Ventura over and over and over again just because Jim Carrey is basically a cartoon come to life in this movie. And a lot of catchphrases came out of the original Ace Ventura and some bad acting from Dan Marino.
Yeah, this is coming right on the heel. Jim Carrey's not a big star at this point. He's coming on the heels of In Living Color, where he's really good and really funny. But they just set him up on this in this movie with this script and just let him cook. And
oh man,
he becomes a megastar with this, like immediately. And it is really just like a movie that looked like it was kind of tailor made for him. Like it was like cut out to his proportions, and they put it on him and just said, "Hey man, just go wild." And it is so funny. It's such a funny movie.
Let's not even ask Mike to comment on Ace Ventura. He's still not over the birth of the rhino scene. That's Ace Ventura 2. Remember that, where he comes out of a rhino?
These movies are so bad. That's all.
Oh man, I laughed.
Well,
a lot.
like bad in a good way, or good
sure.
in a bad way, one or the other. But it's so funny. I've laughed so hard at that movie.
Oh, God, I did too. All righty then, let's get to Andy's choice.
Man, I had a whole bunch of choices here. You guys left me with just a long list. It was a hard decision. I had some of my favorite movies to pick between. But I'm going to go with Scarface here. I can't believe one of you guys didn't take this movie, but this was the first really hard R that I saw as a kid. And it's only because my dad had rented it and he had left it in the VCR. And I remember him kind of realizing that had happened.
Oh.
And like the justification was so lame for my dad. I mean, he was an attorney that could explain everything. I mean, he could talk his way out of a paper bag, but he was like, well, Mary, they're going to hear that stuff anyway, eventually.
Not all this stuff. It'll take a while.
Yeah. I mean, but it was like I had seen Scarface. That like gave me street cred at school. It did not dawn on me. Like I had to watch this, much later as a full adult to really understand like just how bad it was that a kid was watching this movie. But, as I look back on it, Al Pacino has this kind of stupid accent. It doesn't really sound like a Cuban accent. It sounds like Al Pacino and Scarface accent.
It does. That's its own language.
He doesn't really look Cuban to me. I don't know, but this is Brian De Palma, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It's so gory and so, I don't know. It's an iconic gory movie that like everybody's just like, oh, that's an icon. It's disturbing.
You can buy a cigarette lighter as you check out of a convenience store today. It'll be right there at the register.
Yeah, I mean, it like glorifies all the worst things, right? I mean, nobody got any good ideas out of this movie.
And it's so over the top. I mean,
yes.
Mike, which is more over the top, Ace Ventura or Scarface?
Ace Ventura, because it was a horrible movie. Scarface, some redeeming qualities.
Well, I think about that for my old man. It's like it's everybody's like benchmark for bad parenting. Right? It's like, well, I mean, it's not like, I let him watch Scarface or something. Well, no, he did.
No,
it was an accident, but
man. You probably knew you weren't supposed to.
You did know.
Oh,
yeah.
You knew. Because it was like a playground legend. It was like
Scarface.
Yeah. And then I saw it and I was scarred by Scarface.
Yeah. Still are. Mike, what do you have?
I'm gonna go with a movie. I know we've talked about it a couple of times at least, with Al Pacino and Cameron Diaz, directed by Oliver Stone, called Any Given Sunday, which is just also a way over the top football film. I mean, there's nothing believable in this movie whatsoever, but it's just a lot of fun. I mean, look at the cast. It's a great cast, and the story's good. And Al Pacino's always fun to watch because he's over the top.
Yeah, the speech gets played a lot even now in football stadiums, every inch speech. And even like this year, Cleveland Browns, Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders That's Dennis Quaid and Jamie Foxx in this movie. You know, the old grizzled veteran and the young man that's trying to push the old man out of the starting job.
It's a lot of fun.
All right, AD Miami, what do you have? Good movie.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Out of sight. He's staying out of sight.
Andrew, we can't hear you.
Yeah, you're out of sight.
Oh, hey, sorry about that.
There you go.
Hey. Yeah, it's a good action comedy romance movie, the kind of movie they don't really make anymore. Out of Sight. It's George Clooney at his most charming, Jennifer Lopez at her hottest. The cast is crazy. Ving Rhames, Don Cheadle. It's a really fun movie. If you haven't seen it in a while, it's totally rewatchable.
I've been watching it in a long time. Is this the movie they get in the trunk? They're stuck in the trunk together for a while.
And he's like a con man and a thief, and she's a federal agent, but he kind of woos her, he cons her to come over to his side. But yeah, they're stuck in the trunk for a while.
Speaking of trunk, this poster is not a coincidence.
No, it is not.
What? Oh,
yeah.
Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo's butt.
Yeah, in the trunk.
Nobody picked Something About Mary.
I don't think of that as Miami necessarily. Like Miami,
it's half of it's in Miami. That's where it's like
it does.
Coconut. Yeah, very good. Coconut.
I don't think of it as a movie to recommend.
Bad Boys, yeah. Miami's Miami Vice. That's easy, although that's like Michael Mann's biggest whiff.
That didn't quite work there.
Didn't.
Weapons leads the box office again. Weapons is doing really well. Anytime an original movie does well, that is good. We have some reviews for Mr. Movie. Higher to lowest is
highest to lowest. Highest to lowest.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington, directed by Spike Lee. Now these two guys have made 4 or 5 movies together, and they've all been pretty darn good. This movie, Denzel plays like a record executive, and his son is kidnapped. So he's got to find a way to get the ransom paid to get his son back. It's a pretty intense action film. It's really,
Why has this been so quiet, Mike? Because like Denzel Washington, one of my all-time favorites. I can watch him even in a bad movie; it's still worth watching.
Right.
Spike Lee, an acclaimed director. Why did this movie sneak in with so little buzz?
I don't know.
It's Apple TV, right?
Well,
it's in theaters too. I think this is at the
Varsity.
Varsity
In the theaters
right
too. I saw it at the Varsity because it's not playing in the Fridley theaters. And I think that's
probably part of it, right?
Well, I think it's just a weird release, and Apple's kind of tough to deal with, and the theaters look at Apple sometimes as a partner, sometimes as a threat,
competitor. Yeah.
So it's not getting as much play as it should.
Okay, so
but
is it good?
It's a good B+, maybe an A-.
Oh, good. Okay,
well worth seeing.
I will go see that. All right, Honey, Don't.
Oh, man. I don't even know where to go on this one. This is written and directed by Ethan Coen of the Coen brothers. So, I mean, we know it's going to be dark. We know it's going to be probably a little violent and probably a little
quirky.
Other things. So,
yeah. I like the Coen brothers movies usually.
This woman plays an attorney. There's been a murder in town, and she's got to investigate it. And then the whole thing just goes crazy. There's hardly believable police action. There's I don't know how I could. Lots of lesbian sex, but it's pretty rough, and it barely holds your attention. It's just so weird. And it's
after that description, that is surprising.
Yeah, that took a turn.
Yeah. So it's rated G or PG?
No, I would guess it to be an R.
Hard R.
Yeah, you never know these days. But still, it's original. It's different. It's a B+ maybe if you're having a good day.
All right.
Yeah.
You make it sound like it's a weird movie.
It is it's a Coen brothers or a
Okay.
Coen movie.
Coen brother movie.
A
Coen brother, yeah, without the S.
Okay,
Relay.
here's the surprise of the week. Riz Ahmed, who you can see there in the poster, this woman works for a company and she has stolen some secrets because the company's doing bad things and she's trying to turn it over to the good people so they can take care of it, but she wants to be paid for it. Well, the company sends a group of people after her and they're chasing her. Riz Ahmed is hired to protect her. This little typewriter in front of him is the relay system where you can type in a phone message and nobody will know where it came from or how it got in there. And that's how they communicate. The movie is about as intense and well written and well acted as I have seen all year. I sat there in the theater and I'm like, this movie is really good. And it's gotten no publicity whatsoever. But, you know,
It sounds like a good premise. I mean, I like the way you described it. It sounds ripped from today's headlines.
your two sons who are movie fans, this is right up their alley. They will love this movie.
So is this an A?
It's a B plus because it kind of peters out a little at the end, but it's so close to an A, you could call it AB.
Okay.
But it's I think it's going to be in the top 5 of the year. It's that good.
All right, well, let's move it into like an A minus then, if you're going to put it in your top 5.
Well, okay, Keith, hang on. Let me change this. A minus.
Jeez. Oh, your top 5? You're going to give it a B plus?
Well, I think I had it as an A minus. And
Bad
then
year.
At the last minute, changed it. So
All right, good. I think it should be an A minus. All right, so I have seen the preview for The Roses, which is a remake of War of the Roses with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. And
very underrated movie.
This looks promising to me. I laughed a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
Like when she throws the live lobsters in his bathtub as he's taking a bath.
Sue and I are going to see this tonight, so I'm anxious to see it. And then the other one we've got coming, and I don't know if you've seen the clips for it, is something called Caught Stealing.
Yeah, that's Austin Butler.
With Austin Butler wearing
Looks
a
good to me.
Giants hat.
Yeah.
So how bad can that be?
Yeah,
And
there's a scene in the preview where he's like sitting in that Giants hat and his bookends are like maybe Amish people, and I think one of them might be Liev Schreiber.
Yeah.
They're sitting there next to him uncomfortably at dinner. I have no idea what the movie's about other than somebody must be caught stealing.
It looks crazy.
Yeah.
Just another one of those. And then just FYI, Chris Meharry and I are going to go see the Prince concert film, Sign of the Times, at the IMAX this Sunday.
That sounds fun.
It's got to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on that screen and with that sound system.
Yeah, it's probably as close as you're going to come to seeing a Prince concert now. So yeah.
Yes.
And then Jaws is coming into the Palms, right?
Jaws is coming into the Palms too. There's all of these movies. They're trying to shuffle them around. I think Jaws and Prince are swapping times and days and that kind of stuff. So just go to the Fridley site and it'll tell you what's playing and when.
I do want to catch Jaws on the big screen
Jaws
like that.
50.
Jaws 50. Jaws 50.
Sign of the Times would be 40 then, right? Is that right?
Really?
Around there.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Ooh.
Well, hey, Mr. Movie, good to see you. Good to hear
All
you.
right.
Glad
Good
you're
to
with
see
us.
you.
All right.
Good to
Thank
see you guys.
That's Mike Woody, Mr. Movie, presented by P&P Small Engines, and it's time for a quick round of Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Heartland Tire and Auto, an authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Murph, next year the Air Lingus Classic is set to feature TCU in North Carolina. Will Bill Belichick be the Tar Heels coach in that game?
No, I don't think so. I think he'll be back in the NFL, but I'm not sure. Like, I didn't know that he would make it to the Tar Heels' first game this season because they've already passed that point where now he can get out for $1 million or something. It's a real low buyout, which was negotiated for a reason, which is he would rather be in the NFL. So I think if somebody out of 32 teams, somebody's going to say, you know what? I'll take on Bill Belichick and his young lover.
Yeah, I agree. I think if it goes reasonably well for him this season, he goes back to the NFL. And if it goes really poorly, I think he just says, I'm done. I don't think he'll be there next year.
All right, Andy, Jerry Jones is known for negotiating contracts until the final days or even hours before the season starts. He now finds himself in a standoff with Micah Parsons, who has requested a trade in lieu of a new contract. Do you expect Micah Parsons to be a Cowboy come week 1 of the NFL season?
I do. I don't know a whole lot about this situation here, but Jerry Jones, first of all, I mean, he's under the microscope right now with the Cowboy, the America's Team Netflix series out. Everybody is talking about Jerry Jones and his wheelings and dealings with the Cowboys. I mean, he can be a tough customer, but he tends to get his best guys under contract to start the season.
He's made a lot of bad, foolish contracts, too, because he gets attached to certain players and sometimes overvalues their futures. This will be settled. He'll give him the money. He'll cave at the last minute. Sometimes I even feel like he's enjoying all the attention that the holdout or hold-in is bringing him. But this will be done. They need Parsons, and Jerry Jones doesn't have a whole lot of time left. He wants another Super Bowl and not winning it. Probably not winning it with Micah Parsons, but certainly not winning it without him.
Yeah, keeps him in the headlines. Murph, when you want to make it colder in your house, do you turn the air conditioning up or down?
Down.
Yeah, right. Because you're turning the thermostat down, and that's actually turning the air conditioning unit up. But I turn. I turn.
You say, hey, turn the AC down.
Yeah.
Yep. I say turn it down.
Yeah,
turn it down.
It doesn't really make sense. All right, that's Throwdowns.
Now the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the AD Squared.
Yeah, it's powered by Game Day Men's Health. My tee shots now are more important than ever now the football season's here. These Thursday tee shots get me ready for the weekend, and I'm excited to get mine tomorrow. I go to Ankeny. You can go to West Des Moines, North Liberty, wherever you are. There's a Game Day Men's Health near you. You thought we were going to get through the whole show without mentioning Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Well, we're not going to. Because they got engaged yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Couldn't miss it.
One of our favorite internet.
Yeah, one of our favorite social media comedians, Joey Mulinaro, gave us an idea of what the wedding might be like.
I'm gonna try to keep this quick, like how Trav's 3 cone drill used to be. You can still get out of breaks, bro. For those who don't know me, my name is Patrick. Such an honor to be here tonight. Funny, kind, caring, cool, handsome, great actor. Those are just a few of the things that describe why Travis asked me and Jason to be co-best men here tonight. No, but in all seriousness, the first time that I met Taylor and knew that they were going to be together, I said, "Bro, your nickname could be Trailer," and I don't think that she really cared for that too much. But that just goes to show the level of humility that she had. They both have, and I think that they are such a perfect match. It's kind of like, me and you on the field, or, Coach Reed and Chicken Nuggies. Shout out Save Arm. No, they're not sponsoring this, but it could be.
Best part about that is the awkward stammers of like most any best man speech.
Yes, they're all
That's
bad.
really good. All right, Quickie Poll results are presented by WCI Pools and Spas.
Should Iowa State, Kansas State, and the Big 12 embrace the term Farmageddon for the ISU-KSU football rivalry? 93% say absolutely, and 7% say no way. And I would love to hear somebody come on here and explain themselves if they voted that way.
Well, thanks for being part of Murph and Andy here on a Wednesday. I hope that wasn't too much Iowa-Albany breakdown for you Hawkeye fans out there. I know we got way into that game that's bound to be like a 50-point game. Hey, if you get a chance, please like and subscribe here on Iowa Everywhere. It helps us out. We are back Friday with what we Plan to be a fun show. We hope you'll join us then.
Murph and Andy was brought to you by Ramsey Subaru on Hickman Road in Urbandale.